Ever feel like you're just drowning in tasks? You know, like you could really use an extra set of hands or maybe even an extra brain.
Yeah.
You're not alone. That's why we're diving into the world of agentic AI today.
Okay.
Think of it as like that super-powered teammate who can not only handle those tedious to-dos, but actually make decisions and take initiative. Sounds pretty futuristic, right?
It does.
Well, it's closer than you think. We're using this PM Connection article. It's called How to Work with an Agentic AI Team Member.
Okay.
It's packed with practical tips to help you picture how this could work in your own world.
Yeah. The article really gets into the nitty-gritty of integrating these agentic AIs. It's not just about plugging them in and letting them run wild.
Right. It's not like those sci-fi movies where the robots take over.
Exactly. The article starts by emphasizing the importance of understanding both what these AIs are capable of and where they fall short. It's like hiring anyone new. You need to know their strengths and weaknesses before they join the team.
Makes sense. So it's not about replacing humans altogether, but more about finding the right balance.
Absolutely. One of the key takeaways is that agentic AI needs clearly defined roles, even more so than with human team members. Think about it. Humans are pretty good at navigating those gray areas, picking up on social cues and figuring things out as they go. But AI, not so much.
So you're saying if you're not crystal clear about what the AI is supposed to do, you could end up with a real mess.
Exactly. Imagine an AI tasked with scheduling meetings, but it overlaps with your human assistant, who also manages calendars. You could end up with double bookings, missed appointments, and a whole lot of confusion. That's why the article stresses the need for really specific, well-defined roles for these AIs. It's all about preventing overlap and ensuring everyone, human and AI, knows exactly what they're responsible for.
Okay, so we need to set clear expectations for these AI teammates. But what about communication? How do we make sure everyone's on the same page, especially when we're talking about something as complex as AI?
That's a great question, and it's something the article really dives into. It highlights the importance of open communication and feedback loops. Remember, we're aiming for a collaborative environment, not a situation where the AI is off doing its own thing in a silo. Think of it as a partnership where everyone's contributing their unique skills and insights.
I'm picturing this constant back and forth with humans and AI working together, learning from each other, and refining the process as they go.
Precisely. There's a great example in the article about a design team using AI to generate different variations of a product. The AI was excellent at coming up with options, but it was human designers who could then step back, evaluate those options with their creative eye, and provide feedback to the AI to refine its output.
So it's not about humans being replaced, but rather enhanced by the AI's capabilities.
Exactly. And this leads us to another crucial point, monitoring performance. Just like you track the progress of any team member, it's essential to have systems in place to monitor how well your AI is performing.
So it's not a set it and forget it kind of thing.
Not at all. The article recommends using KPIs, or key performance indicators, to measure the AI's effectiveness.
That makes sense. But what kind of KPIs would you even use for AI?
Well, it depends on the specific tasks and goals, of course. But you could look at things like efficiency, how quickly the AI completes its tasks, accuracy, how often it gets things right. You could even measure the number of solutions it generates or how quickly it adapts to new information.
So it's about making sure the AI is on track and meeting the expectations we set.
Exactly. And this ties into another important aspect, training and support. Just like any new team member, an agentic AI needs onboarding and training to perform at its best.
You're saying that even though AI is this advanced technology, it still needs some handholding to really excel.
Absolutely. And the training needs to be tailored to the AI's specific capabilities and limitations. Remember that initial assessment we talked about, understanding the AI's strengths and weaknesses? That's crucial for designing effective training programs. It's not about throwing any old data at it and hoping for the best. We need to be strategic and focused, building on the AI's strengths and addressing its limitations.
So it's like we're investing in the AI's development just like we would with a human teammate.
Exactly. And this brings us to a crucial point that the article emphasizes. It's about the ongoing evolution of the AI.
Oh,
We can't just set it up and forget about it.
right.
We need to make sure it's continually learning and improving just like any member of the team.
That makes sense. You wouldn't just hire someone and never give them any feedback or opportunities to grow.
Exactly. And this is where that collaborative spirit really comes in. It's a two-way street. Humans are learning how to work effectively with AI, and the AI is constantly learning and adapting based on the feedback and data it receives.
So it's really a partnership with both humans and AI, pushing each other to be better.
I think that's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
And this continuous improvement aspect is really highlighted in the PM Connection article. It even provides some really cool resources for exploring this further.
Oh, like what?
They mentioned these example videos, Project Manager Agent in Microsoft Planner demonstration, and Introduction to Operator and Agents. I haven't watched them myself yet, but they sound like they could be super helpful for actually visualizing how agentic AI works in practice.
Those sound worth checking out for sure. But I have to admit, all this talk about AI taking initiative and making decisions, it still feels a little unsettling. Like, how much control are we actually giving up here?
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
It's important to remember that even though we're talking about agentic AI, it's still operating within the parameters and guidelines that we humans set.
Okay.
We're not talking about sentient robots making their own decisions independent of human oversight.
So it's more about delegating tasks and giving the AI the freedom to operate within a defined scope.
Exactly. Think of it like this. You might give a human team member a task and say, here's the goal, figure out the best way to achieve it. With agentic AI, you're essentially doing the same thing. You're providing the framework, the objectives, and the constraints, and the AI uses its capabilities to determine the most efficient and effective way to get there.
Okay, that makes me feel a little better. But it still raises a question. If AI is handling more and more of these complex tasks, what does that mean for us humans? What will our roles be in this future of work?
That's a really interesting question,
Yeah.
and one that I think a lot of people are grappling with.
Right.
Some people worry that AI will make human workers obsolete.
And it's easy to see why people might think that way. If a machine can do it faster and cheaper, why would we need humans?
But I think that's a very limited view.
Okay.
Remember, AI is a tool. It's powerful, yes, but it's still a tool that needs to be wielded by humans. And there are certain things, certain qualities that humans bring to the table that AI simply can't replicate.
Like what?
Think about creativity, critical thinking, complex problem-solving, emotional intelligence. These are all uniquely human skills that are essential in any field. And I believe that as AI takes over more of those routine, repetitive tasks, it will actually free up humans to focus on these higher-level skills.
So you're saying that AI could actually help us become more human in a way? By taking care of the things that machines are good at, we can focus on the things that make us uniquely human.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about finding that synergy, that sweet spot where human and artificial intelligence complement each other, creating something that's greater than the sum of its parts.
I like that. It's not about one replacing the other, but about finding ways to work together to achieve things that neither could do alone.
And this ties back to what we were discussing earlier about training and development.
Yeah.
Not only do we need to train the AI, but we also need to train ourselves. We need to develop the skills and knowledge necessary to effectively collaborate with these AI teammates.
So it's about adapting to this new landscape, learning how to leverage the power of AI while still honing our own unique human skills.
Precisely. It's a journey, and it's one that we're all on together.
I have to admit it's a little daunting, but also pretty exciting. It's like we're on the cusp of a whole new era of work, and the possibilities are pretty mind-blowing.
I agree.
Yeah.
It's a time of tremendous change, but also a time of tremendous opportunity. And the PM Connection article does a great job of not just outlining the challenges, but also highlighting the potential benefits of integrating agentic AI into our teams.
It's like a roadmap helping us navigate this new terrain.
Exactly. And speaking of navigating, there's another important point the article touches on. It emphasizes the importance of staying adaptable. The world of AI is constantly evolving, and what works today might not work tomorrow.
Right.
We need to be flexible and willing to adjust our approach as needed.
I guess that's true of any field, but especially with something as rapidly changing as AI. So how do we stay ahead of the curve? How do we make sure we're not left behind as AI continues to advance?
It's all about continuous learning. We need to stay informed about the latest developments in AI experiment with new tools and techniques and be open to new ways of working.
That makes sense, but it also feels a little overwhelming, to be honest. Like, how can we possibly keep up with everything that's happening in the AI world?
Well, that's where resources like this PM Connection article come in. It's a great way to get a high-level overview of the key concepts and best practices. And as you dive deeper into specific areas of interest, you'll find that there's a whole community of experts and resources out there to support you.
So it's about finding those trusted sources of information and building a network of people who are also on this learning journey.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, you don't have to become an AI expert overnight. It's a process, and it's okay to start small. Maybe you experiment with a simple AI tool in your workflow, or you attend a webinar on a specific topic that interests you.
It's about taking those small steps, those incremental steps to gradually build your knowledge and confidence.
Precisely. And as you gain more experience, you'll start to see the potential of AI in a whole new light.
Mm.
You'll start to think about how you can leverage these tools to not just automate tasks, but to actually enhance your own creativity and problem-solving abilities.
It's like we talked about earlier, AI becoming this amplifier for human potential.
Right.
It's not about replacing us, but about helping us reach new heights.
Exactly. And I think that's what's so exciting about this whole field. It's not just about technology. It's about pushing the boundaries of what's possible and creating a future where humans and AI work together to solve some of the world's biggest challenges.
I like that. It's a hopeful vision, a vision where AI is a force for good in the world. And I think that's a good place to leave our listener today.
I agree. As you continue to explore the world of agentic AI, remember to stay curious, stay adaptable, and most importantly, stay focused on the human element.
Because ultimately, it's all about using these powerful tools to create a better future for ourselves and for generations to come. So for our listeners ready to dive in, check out that PM Connection article. It's a great starting point, and it'll give you a solid foundation for understanding how to work with agentic AI effectively. And who knows, maybe someday soon, you'll be leading the charge, using AI to transform your own field and make a real difference in the world.